In this lesson, we're going to look at the basic navigation inside of Blender. Now, this is very important that you get very familiar with these shortcuts because you will use them constantly. So the first one is orbiting around your scene in the 3D viewport. Really simple to do. You simply hold in the middle mouse button on your mouse and then just move around. And as you can see, that will orbit around your scene inside of the 3D viewport. Next, if you hold Shift while holding the middle mouse button, you will pan around. So you can pan left to right and up and down. So that's just an easy way to kind of pan around your scene. Next is Control. You hold in Control while still holding middle mouse button, and that's going to give you a zoom. So either zooming in or zooming out. So let's recap that quickly. Just holding middle mouse button and moving around is orbiting around your scene. Holding Shift and middle mouse button will pan. Holding Control, middle mouse button will zoom in and out. So practice, practice, practice until you are comfortable to pan around and orbit around and zoom around your scene. And yeah, just get comfortable with that. Will take you a couple of hours maybe, or maybe a day or two, while just playing around inside the 3D viewport, and just get comfortable with these controls. Once you're comfortable, you're gonna really move quickly around your scene, and it's just gonna make everything so much easier once you are very comfortable with these 3 shortcut combinations. Another thing that you can do is you can click on one of these objects in the scene to select them, and let's say I want to kind of focus in on this cube. I can simply click on it, and then on the keyboard press the full stop that is on the numpad. So if you look at the numpad on your keyboard, on the right hand side of your keyboard, there's a full stop, and if you press that button, it's going to zoom into that or close to that specific object that you had selected in the viewport. And if you orbit now, it will orbit around that object. So let's zoom out, and this time I'm going to click the camera. You can click the camera, or you can actually just drag a box around an object to select it as well. So I'm going to select the camera, and then I'm going to press the full stop on the numpad on my keyboard, and that's going to zoom in towards the camera. And now if I orbit, I'm orbiting around this camera. Let's do the same with the light. So I'm going to select the light in the 3D viewport, and I'm going to press full stop, and that's going to kind of focus in on that light, and it's just going to zoom or orbit around that object. You can also select multiple objects. So I can drag a box around the light and the cube, and then I'm going to press full stop, and it's going to kind of zoom into those or closer to those 2 objects. You can even do it with all 3 objects. I can drag a box to select all 3 objects in the scene, press full stop, and it's going to kind of zoom to around, it's just going to zoom closer to those 3 objects. So that's how you can navigate around the 3D viewport inside of Blender. I will see you in the next lesson.